Hello students, welcome to WeLearn, session number 1 of Computer Fundamentals. Today we are going to discuss the various characteristics of computer, the generation of computers, what are the different classification of computers, what are the different components of a computer, what are the various input devices, the output devices, what are processing devices and the memory devices. A computer system is a machine which accepts data. Now data is something which is called the input. जो हम देते हैं एक कंप्यूटर को कुछ काम करने के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं उसको हम डेटा कहते हैं. Now computer processes it, वो उस पर कुछ functions करता है which is called the processing and returns information. Now that information is what the calculation जो हमें required है. This is an output. So basically जो हम data जो डालते हैं that is called an input. कंप्यूटर उसकी प्रोसेसिंग करता है, फंक्शंस प्रोवाइड करता है जो हमारे को जो हमें फंक्शन चाहिए, कैलकुलेशन चाहिए वो करता है और हमारे को एक आंसर देता है जो एक इंफॉर्मेशन देता है विच इज़ एन आउटपुट. नाउ we can say that computer is actually a machine that accepts data which is of course an input. इसमें processing होती है which is done through the central processing unit and an output is provided to us in the form of information. So basically we have the different computer systems which are a hardware, a software which is जो एक computer की application है that is called a software. A hardware is anything that we can touch. And now this function of processing is done by a user, a end user, which is a student or anybody who use that application. Okay, so we will now learn about the different characteristics of computers. Computers are required because हमारे को काम जल्दी करना होता है. We require speed. हम घर में बैठे अगर कैलकुलेटर पे करते हैं या कोई और प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं it takes a lot of time. जबकि computers वो चीज़ को स्पीड अप कर देते हैं. So we need computers for speed. We need them for accuracy because computers जो भी काम करेंगे वो accurate होगा, उनमें गलतियाँ नहीं होती. गलतियाँ as human beings जो हम calculation में करते हैं, computer does not do it. We need it for diligence because computers are capable of performing tasks given to them repetitively और वो जल्दी भी करते हैं and they have a large storage capacity. कोई कंस्ट्रेंट नहीं होता उसमें कि स्टोरेज कम है या वी डोंट नीड बुक्स टू राइट देम. दे स्टोर इट इन देयर मेमोरी विच इज़ वेरी वेरी लार्ज. सो वट एवर इंफॉर्मेशन वी give to the computer is stored which is in a storage device which is called memory. Now memory can be external or internal memory. Now first of all before we discuss that thing हम एक चीज़ discuss करेंगे which is the generation of computers. Computers किस तरह से आए? What we use today is the 4th generation of computers. But उससे पहले computers generate हो चुके थे. We started with the first generation जो 1951 से start हुई and it remained till 1958. The main component of that was the vacuum tube. Now vacuum tubes क्या होती हैं? They are actually electronic tubes and वो light bulbs के size की big वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स जो एक मेजर कंपोनेंट था हमारी फर्स्ट जनरेशन कंप्यूटर्स में. पर उसमें हमारे को बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स आई, डिसएडवांटेजेस थे कि वो बहुत हीट कंज्यूम जनरेट करती थी और उसके बाद वो फ्रीक्वेंटली बर्न आउट हो जाती थी. इसलिए वी नीडेड अ सेकेंड एंड अ बेटर जनरेशन ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स विच केम इन 1959 एंड दे रिमेन टिल 1964. उस जनरेशन के कंप्यूटर्स को हम सेकेंड जनरेशन कंप्यूटर्स कहते थे. इसमें जो मेन कंपोनेंट था वो था एक ट्रांजिस्टर. It was actually a 3-leg component which shrunk the size of the first generation computers. Computers थोड़े से छोटे हो गए और वो पहले की कंपैरिजन में 100 of the space of a vacuum tube लेते थे. वो पहले वाले जो मॉडल्स थे उससे बेटर थे. वो कम जनरेट करते थे हीट, लेकिन उसके साथ भी हमारे डिसएडवांटेजेस थे. इसलिए हमारे को नीड हमारे को अराइज हुई थर्ड जनरेशन कंप्यूटर्स की जो थे 1965 से 1970 तक. नाउ इस जनरेशन के जो कंप्यूटर्स थे इनका जो मेन कंपोनेंट था वो था इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स विच वाज वेरी फेमस. आज भी हम इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स के बारे में बात करते हैं बिकॉज वी आर इन द फोर्थ जनरेशन ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स और हमसे पहले थे थर्ड जनरेशन विच वॉज नॉट फार ऑफ. Now integrated circuits were actually square shaped silicon chips containing circuitry then that can perform the functions of 100 of transistors. लेकिन हमारे को इसमें भी कुछ डिसएडवांटेजेस थे, हालांकि हम अभी इसके बारे में अभी डिस्कस नहीं करें. फर्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस द एडवांटेजेस which is reliability. Of course, second and third generation were better than the first generation computers, and unlike the vacuum tubes of the first generation, silicons will not break down easily, जो हमारे second generation का main component था. And it was low in cost compared to the first generation of computers. They were low in cost. और fourth generation computers, which are the present day computers, जिसको हम कहते हैं microprocessors, which is the main component of the today's generation of computer, is microprocessor. It is actually a silicon chip that contains the CPU, which is the central processing unit, which is the part of the computer where all processing takes place. When we provide an input or information to the computer, it is processed, and this procession is done in the CPU, which is the main component of a computer. इसमें हमने और देखा है कि 4004 chip थी, which was the first microprocessor introduced by the Intel Corporation. This is a today's generation of computer, which is the fourth generation, which is more powerful, which is more faster, which has more capacity than the first, second and third generation of the computers. And every month we can see there are new brands of and models of the fourth generation computer, जो हर मार्केट में हर एक महीने बाद आप थोड़े टाइम बाद देखते हैं कि हमारे पास एक न्यू जनरेशन का आ जाता है मॉडल, which is actually the fourth generation of computers, which is better than the previous one, which is faster and which has more memory. Now we will come to a very significant part of the computers. This study is about the different types of computer, which are the digital computers, the analog computers and the hybrid computers. We also need to know that digital computers में हमारे पास different type के computers होते हैं, which is microcomputer. As its name suggests, it is very tiny. We have mainframe computers. We will talk about the supercomputers and the mini computers. Microcomputer basically are of two types, which is a home computer and a PC, which is a personal computer. We will discuss about it in further slides. First, we will talk about analog computer. Analog computer, as we told you, is a type of computer, just like a digital computer and a hybrid computer. Analog computer is the one which measures and answers questions by the method of how much. इसमें how is a very important component because it is the one which differentiates a digital computer and an analog computer. How much का concept होता है analog computers में, और हम further study करेंगे digital computers में जो concept होता है वो होता है how many. So the input data is not is in fact a physical quantity like a temperature, pressure, speed and velocity. And an analog computer use signals which are continuous. Analog और digital में फ़र्क होगा because they use two type of signals, like digital use two type of signals, whereas analog computers use continuous signals which are 100% accurate, which has accuracy of 1% approximately, and they are high in speed. Their output is also continuous just like the signals, but the time is wasted in transmission. This is an example of analog computer. As you can see, the other type of computer is digital computer. इसमें how many का concept होता है. Analog में how much का concept होता है, and digital computers में the main concept is how many. They also have signals, but they are of two levels. Like in analog we have continuous signals. Digital computers में signals are of two levels, and their accuracy is unlimited. हमारी जो analog थी उसमें हमारी accuracy limited थी, जबकि digital में it is unlimited. We have a low speed sequential as well as parallel processing, because इसमें sequential भी होगी और parallel भी processing होती है digital computers में. इसमें आउटपुट कंटिन्यूस होता है बट ऑब्टेन व्हेन कंप्यूटेशन इज कंप्लीटेड. अनदर कंसेप्ट ऑफ कंप्यूटर इज अ माइक्रो कंप्यूटर. आप इसके नाम से ही देख सकते हैं माइक्रो कंप्यूटर इज अ स्मॉलेस्ट कंप्यूटर सिस्टम. Their size range from calculator to desktop size. Its CPU is known as a microprocessor. It is also known as grandchild computer. बेसिकली हम माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स यूज़ करते हैं मल्टी यूज़र सिस्टम्स में, ऑफिस में. Or another concept is of mini computer. These are also small general purpose systems, but हम इनकी basically application हम इनकी होती है basically इनकी application departmental systems में, network servers में और work group system में. मिनी कंप्यूटर को हम मिड रेंज कंप्यूटर या चाइल्ड कंप्यूटर भी कहते हैं. दिस इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मिनी कंप्यूटर. as you can see, it is very small, but it has all the applications and microprocessor of course. Now we'll discuss what is a mainframe computer. Mainframe computers are those computers that offer faster processing and greater storage area. Now इसमें हमारा एक concept ये होता है कि वो बहुत fast होते हैं, and they are also known as father computers. Unlike हमारे मिनी कंप्यूटर्स एंड माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स, दीज आर कॉल्ड द फादर कंप्यूटर्स, जिसकी हम बेसिकली यूज़ हम करते हैं होस्ट कंप्यूटर में, जहाँ पे हमने सेंट्रल बेस रखना होता है, डेटा बेस रखना होता है, वहाँ पे हम यूज़ करते हैं फादर कंप्यूटर, बिकॉज वी नीड अ वेरी लार्ज स्टोरेज एरिया. डेटा बेसिस जहाँ भी स्टोर होते हैं, दे आर स्टोर इन मेन फ्रेम कंप्यूटर्स. Or the next concept is supercomputer. Supercomputers are those computers which are designed for scientific jobs, weather forecasting or artificial intelligence, etc. They are faster and expensive. A supercomputer contains a number of CPU which operate in parallel to make it faster. It is also known as grandfather computer. It is much more, it's a bigger version of the earlier computers and the mainframe computer. It is basically used in weather forecasting, weapons, research and development. As you can see, this is a supercomputer, which is of course called a grandfather computer. Now we will classify the different type of digital computers. We have different type of digital computers like the desktop, we have a workstation, notebooks, tablet PC, handheld computers and smartphone. These are all the different these are the kinds of digital computers. We can classify digital computers in the form of these. This of course is a workstation which we can commonly see in offices. This is a tablet PC, which is a new version, latest one. This is a handheld PC, which is also called a PDA. Another smartphone. Smartphones are very famous applications these days. Now we will discuss the various components of a computer system. This over here you can see is the monitor or the screen. This one is the keyboard. We also have different type of wireless keyboards these days. This one here is a mouse. As you can see, this one downstairs is a printer. Whenever we need documents to be printed, we use printer. The audio from a computer comes through speakers. The main processing is done in a CPU. As you can see, this one is a computer case, which is also called a CPU, which has a processor inside. We can provide, we have also CD drives and DVD drives in a computer, and a floppy disk drive. Now central processing unit or CPU is actually called the brains of the computer. Whenever we provide an input to a computer, it is through the CPU that all the processing is done. Floppy disk drive, CD-ROM and DVD drives are the different type of drives where we can store information or data. Now we will discuss what is the difference between input and output. As I told you earlier, that input is the information that you provide to a computer. Whatever information or data that you give to the computer is called the input. Now the computer does the processing and it returns information to us in the form of output. Now you can see here the different type of input devices. The different type of input devices here are keyboard, mouse, trackball, joystick, light pen, pointing stick and touchpad. इनसे हम इंफॉर्मेशन लिख कर कंप्यूटर को दे सकते हैं. तो ये हमारे इनपुट डिवाइसेस है जिसके थ्रू हम इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं कंप्यूटर को. टच स्क्रीन ऑल्सो इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ इनपुट डिवाइस. द डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ आउटपुट डिवाइसेस जहाँ से इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे को मिलती है प्रोसेसिंग के बाद, उनको हम आउटपुट डिवाइसेस कहते हैं. आउटपुट डिवाइसेस आर मॉनिटर, जहाँ पे हमारे को इन्फॉर्मेशन रिजल्ट के रूप में देता है कंप्यूटर प्रोसेसिंग करने के बाद. या हम इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, जहाँ पे हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन आउटपुट हमारा जो है प्रिंटर के थ्रू आ रहा है प्रिंट फॉर्मेट में. तो प्रिंटर इज़ ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ आउटपुट डिवाइस, बिकॉज उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन लिखकर हमारे को आ रही है. या फिर ऑडियो के रूप में भी हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन आ सकती है. प्रोसेस करने के बाद इंफॉर्मेशन वो एक ऑडियो प्ले कर सकता है जो कि स्पीकर्स के थ्रू आ सकता है. तो स्पीकर इज़ ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ आउटपुट डिवाइस. Processing device, which is the main main part of a computer, which is called the CPU, or the brain of a computer, or the heart of a computer, is the one which is responsible for processing information that has been entered into the computer. ये सारी calculations करता है. So CPU is actually the brain of a computer. अब हम अपनी information store करते हैं. हम मेमोरी में भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं, इंटरनल मेमोरी ऑफ अ कंप्यूटर, और हम इसको एक्सटर्नल भी सेव कर सकते हैं. अगर हम इंटरनल मेमोरी में सेव करते हैं तो हमारे पास ऑप्शंस होते हैं हार्ड ड्राइव के, which is actually the memory stored in a computer, which is accessed through RAM, which is the random access memory, the temporary memory, or the read only memory, which is a long term memory. आजकल हम अपनी मेमोरी एक्सटर्नल डिवाइसेस में भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं. सिंस द फोर्थ जनरेशन ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स वी कैन ऑल्सो यूज़ एक्सटर्नल स्टोरेज, जैसे कि वी कैन यूज़ फ्लॉपी डिस्क्स. वी ऑल्सो हैव CD-ROMs, विच इज़ अ कॉम्पैक्ट डिस्क. We can use compact read and CD-RW drives also, DVDs, and USB or jump drivers. The hard disk drive is a kind of storage medium which is a magnetic platter that holds large amount of information in the form of a in a form that the computer can understand. A floppy disk is a flat circle of iron oxide coated plastic enclosed in a hard plastic case. Most are 3.5 inches and have a capacity to hold 1.44 MB or more of data. CD-ROM और drive are the most common storage methods, जैसे आप देख सकते हैं, जो हमारी एक compact disk होती है, which is actually a read-only memory. Another storage device is a CD-RW. It's a device that allows us to read and write to a compact disk. Now हमारे को अगर डिस्कस करना है कि हमारे को कौन सा स्टोरेज डिवाइस लेना है, तो बेसिकली द main constraint is memory. Different type of storage devices have different type of memory storage capacity. Like if we talk about CD-ROM disk, उसकी capacity होती है 640 MB, whereas a DVD disk has a 17 GB of memory storage. A hard drive has a 60 and above it has a capacity of 80 and above GB of memory space. Floppy disks have generally 1.44 MB storage capacity. That's all for today. Thank you so much.